We were separated when we were 3 years old. I haven't seen Pip or my mother for over 20 years.
Is that the whole truth?
The whole truth is, I came here hoping for a small allowance from my family's money. I didn't come here to commit murder so that I could inherit the lot.
Yes, I suppose I have no alternative but to believe that. But just a moment, you said you were in the French resistance?
Yes.
You learned to shoot?
I can shoot.
In which case?
If I had shot at you that night, Letitia Blacklock, I wouldn't have missed.
Inspector Craddock would like to speak to all of you.
Thank you, Hannah.
All of us?
Yes.
But we've only just come in. We haven't
Miss
had time.
Amy Murgatroyd was murdered earlier today. To be precise, she was strangled in her garden just before noon. I want a precise account of everybody's movements.
Whoever's doing these things, Inspector, must be mad. Quite mad.
It doesn't necessarily follow.
Ah, my pearl! My pearl!
I've never seen her so upset.
Good day, Miss Marple.
Good day, Sergeant. How is Miss Hinchcliffe?
Very shocked, I'm afraid. She seems to have aged 10 years.
We must do something, Sergeant.
Missing?
Yes.
How long's she been missing?
Oh, about 2 hours. She went along the road to speak to Sergeant Fletcher.
That's what, about 5 minutes away?
10 at the most.
Doesn't help, because I've lost Fletcher as well.
She suddenly became very excited about pearls.
Pearls?
Yes. Well, she'd been making this list in her notebook. Lamp, violets, aspirins, bairn, Letty, old age pension, pearls.
Does Miss Blacklock always wear those pearls?
Yes. We laugh about it sometimes.
I'm very concerned about Miss Marple. The minute you hear anything, you must telephone the station.
Yes, of course.
Fletcher, what the hell are you playing at?
So you see, it's been quite a day.
So I see. But only the one murder.
Oh, Julia.
I understood she wasn't Julia.
Well, I still think of her as Julia.
Well.
And then on top of everything else, that nice Miss Marple has disappeared.
Perhaps she's on the run.
On the run?
If she murdered Miss Murgatroyd.
Philippa!
Can't you stop talking about murder? Don't you understand? I'm frightened. God.
Don't worry, Aunt Letty. I'll look after you. Mind you, I could do it better on a full stomach. I am hungry, Hannah.
I am frightened.
Are we having supper tonight?
You can make it yourselves. I do nothing more in this house. If they kill Miss Murgatroyd, they can kill anyone. I am going to lock myself in my room until tomorrow, and then I leave this house forever. Good night, Miss Blacklock.
I'll see to dinner. Might be less embarrassing all round.
Don't be silly, darling.
Nobody wants to sit at table with an imposter. Oh, Patrick, if you're acting as protector, you better taste the food. I don't want to be accused of poisoning the omelettes. Omelettes all right for everybody? Fine by me. It's all I can cook anyway. But I'm outstandingly good. Do you need any help? No. But there's something I want to say to you. Save it. I've had enough drama for one day. If you've fallen madly in love with Edmund Swetnam, that is strictly your business. It isn't that. Look, why don't you make yourself useful? Go and lay the table in the dining room or something. Which is a polite way of saying, leave me alone. When I shoot to kill. I'm on your side, Emma. That's all.
was excellent.
Thank you.
Have you eaten anything?
I had mine below stairs, thank you kindly, Mrs. Holmes. I'll answer it.
Every time the phone rings, I assume somebody else has been bumped off.
Let's count our blessings. At least it was none of us three.
You're being amazingly cheerful all of a sudden, Philippa. Considering we're surrounded by death and deceit.
Thank you, Inspector. Oh, do you think we might have coffee in the drawing room? We're expecting company.
Not another announcement in the newspaper.
Inspector Craddock has invited himself over.
Well, he hasn't been to see us for at least 20 minutes.
And he's bringing the Easterbrooks and the Swetnams.
How terribly thrilling.
Coffee in the drawing room. Very well, Marm.
I don't have to explain why we're here. Today, Miss Amy Murgatroyd was murdered, very brutally. And there's every reason to believe she was murdered by somebody in this room. More than that, we believe the murderer was a woman.
Good God.
I'm going to ask the ladies present to tell me what they were doing today between the hours of 11 o'clock and noon. Starting with the young lady who has been calling herself Julia Simmons.
Calling herself?
Hush, Mother.
Between 11 and 12, I was in Milchester meeting Patrick for a secret walk along the riverbank. We have no witnesses. We could easily have driven in a fast car to Miss Murgatroyd's cottage, but we didn't. I throw myself on the mercy of the court.
Mrs. Swetnam?
Me?
What were you doing at the time in question?
Well, either turning the heel of a sock or cleaning out the gutter, depending what time the rain started.
It started to rain at 11:10.
Ah. Well, that means that I was turning the heel of a sock until 10 past. Then the rain started and pours into our passage by the cloakroom where the gutters stopped up. So I put on my coat and gumboots, and I cleaned out the gutter with a broom handle.
Do you have any witnesses to the sock turning or gutter cleaning?
No. I called to Edmund, but he didn't answer. So I assumed he was at an important place in his novel.
And were you?
No, I was asleep. Do you need a witness to that?
I don't think so. Mrs. Easterbrook?
I was in the study with Archie. We were listening to the wireless.
Can you confirm that, Colonel?
No.
No?
We were listening to the wireless at 11 o'clock.
Are we not talking about 11 o'clock?
We're talking about between 11 o'clock and 12.
Precisely.
And bear in mind that you withheld vital information about a revolver, so may I have some accuracy on this occasion?
I was in the study with Archie, listening to the wireless. And then I toasted some scones. And in between, I went for a little walk.
Alone?
I was talking to Lampson, a farmer from Croft End, about some chicken netting.
While your wife took a little walk?
Why didn't you ask the others what they were doing? That Hames woman. And Edmund Swetnam. He writes books about murder, and he's a communist. He's always saying...
I've made it quite clear that we're looking for a woman, Mrs. Easterbrook. Before she died, Miss Murgatroyd made a vital statement about the killing of Rudy Schertz. As you will all remember, Miss Murgatroyd was standing where I'm standing now when the unfortunate young man entered through this door.
But it was dark. Nobody could see anything.
Miss Murgatroyd was standing here, so she could see where the torch was shining. Only she could see who wasn't in the room at the time of the shooting.
She saw everything.
I, too, saw everything.
That's impossible. You weren't even in the room.
No, I am not in the room. I am just a